Namaskar, everybody. Hello. Namaskar. आप सबका स्वागत है. Who is this? Who is this? Hello.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, who is this? All right, welcome everybody. Welcome. आपका स्वागत है. And as it happens is when you're discovering new ways of doing things, many new things come up for each one of us. And we are also discovering interesting traits about technology. So we just had a slight bit of a technical hitch. We just solved it, and here we are. Welcome, आपका स्वागत है. And today I'm going to be in conversation with Rajesh Janey, and all of you here. Yes, quite a few of you are here already. So super duper. Without much further ado, I'll just invite Rajesh. स्वागत है आपका.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you for having me here.
Wonderful. Two of us. Talking Zindagi over a cuppa.
Absolutely. But ये concept काफी अच्छा लगा मुझे आपका. Relaxed conversation and not a scripted, the usual thing that corporates are used.
Yeah. All of us. It's so interesting that you talk about it being scripted or not. Rajesh, कि हम लोग through our life, sometimes it is asked that, so now that you have grown up, now you know what the way is, as if as we grow up, we know the script of life.
So there are two things I can say. One is scripted नहीं है, इसलिए थोड़ा risk भी है. कुछ निकल जाएगा तो it can upset few people. And the second thing I was thinking, it's so easy to look back and find things which went right as हाँ यार ये बहुत अच्छा decision था. But when you are into that space, when you're taking the decision, it's scary at that time, right? उस वक्त पता नहीं आगे क्या होगा. The fear, the apprehension, right? So looking back, the script looks very rosy.
Yeah, hindsight.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020. All of us. In fact, you know what interests me a lot, Rajesh, and what you said is so true. That as we have grown older, definitely that fact is there that it is, in each day we are taking a call. क्या होगा? वो ठीक लगेगा तो? Will it work or not? So if we are actually very straight with ourselves, nothing has changed. I mean, from the time that childhood was to now, more people are expecting us to get it right, but for us it is still the same. It's the
I think, yeah,
the magic of it.
Right.
Where was childhood for you?
So I was born in Delhi, brought up in Delhi, lived all my life in Delhi, and now last 13 years in Gurgaon. And in between, I stayed for a couple of years in Bangalore and very short time in the US. So I'm one of those strange IT guys who ran away from Bangalore in 2 years and didn't stick around. Even though Bangalore was very good at that time, 95, but somehow just couldn't stay there.
So as you know, like I mean, this always there are these, as they say, the typical stories. We try to think that there is something typical, and if we look at it, most of us have actually atypical story. You know, it's not typical. And for me, something about childhood, you know, and I would love to listen to your views on this. Has it ever occurred to you that as a child, you know, we just lived another day, okay, and we were being reminded to be prepared for the future. You know, we are hit by that to study well and do all the things, you know, that we needed to. And the closest parallel that we drew with the outside world was another child who was scoring better marks than us. All right, so that was the, you know, that is the kind of thing we had to fit into. So what are the things that what you recall as a child would have been your earliest memory when, if I don't even know, I'm just asking you, where Rajesh was probably asked to fit into something, be like.
Fit into something.
No, be like, you know, like, uske jaise kyun nahi banta? You know, like, somebody you look up to. You're made to look up to. कोई बच्चा नहीं कहता मैं उसके जैसे बनना चाहता हूँ, उसको घर वाले थोड़ा प्रेशर डालते हैं.
So not those memories, lekin memories which I fondly remember are growing up in a joint family. Right, we were in West Delhi, 2 houses next to each other. We were 11, 12 cousins. Cousins, though, is a wrong word, right? When you grow up, they are brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
It's so those are the fond memories, and it was not about fitting in or comparison, but what it gave the perspective was accepting different personalities. कोई अलग point of view भी हो सकता है. It's not joint families. When you look back, it is very, very good. Those good memories we meet, we live by. And it also prepares you for having differences in opinions and learn to live together and move on with those differences. I think that was a very good thing to happen. And the example what you are wanting is kuch aisa hua that...
No, I'm not wanting. What I'm saying is that this is so interesting. Yeah, when you, yeah. ये जो आपने example दिया, it is so interesting, Rajesh, कि see how in the same place people can be having, like, you had a joint family and I grew up in a nuclear family. All right. In a nuclear family, the only child. So I can just imagine, you know, in fact, my dear friend Alok Mathur, they used to live in Mathur house in Daryaganj.
Wow.
And we went to the same college. In fact, are you from DPS by any chance?
No, I'm not from DPS. No.
You know, so okay. So Alok from DPS. अच्छा कुछ आवाज में दिक्कत आ रही है कुछ हल्की सी लगता है that has come back.
ठीक हो गई.
I think that thing is just, अच्छा that thing has come back. Just checking with people. Are we having some issue with the sound of voice of Rajesh? Near Gulcha Cinema, exactly. Some people are saying. So anyway, there is there a sound issue that you're having? Just tell me. then we were just having issue. Oh, okay, it's not there. So I remember, Rajesh, that I used to go to that house just to experience what a fantastic thing this joint family thing is. Yeah, मतलब जो आपके घर में था, मैं दूसरों के घर जाके देखने की कोशिश करता था.
But seriously, it's fun experience. Today also when we meet at a function or something, there's so much of laughter, there's so much of fun about
Okay, there is that sound issue which is coming up. Rajesh, I think you'll need to do that. Would you want to just step out and come back again? Very sorry, that's it's here. So these are the joys of technical stuff. So we are all on headphones and everything is working, but yes, certain things sometimes don't work out. And so the idea of two of us is that two people just meet and have a conversation about nukes in our life. There have been certain interesting nukes in our life, and our idea is that we'll just meet and we talk about those hidden nuggets which are so we have zero agenda in this. And welcome back, Rajesh. Yeah.
Is this
So
better?
yeah, it's gone absolutely. I'm aram se.
So मेरे end by. हाँ, तो you're right. तो आज भी मिलते हैं, बात करते हैं. So the interesting part is while we'll be talking and let's say my wife, हमारे जो जीजा वगैरह है वो सब करेंगे. अब ये मिल गए हैं इकट्ठे, ये सब पुरानी बातें करेंगे घर की. चलो हम सब अलग बैठते हैं, इनको छोड़ दो, because they will go back many years ago. They will not listen to us. It's so much fun, so much laughter, living those memories.
Wow. Memories of love, right?
Memories of love, memories of togetherness, family, differences, but making up and moving on. Right? So many learnings. Or the biggest I said is accepting a different point of opinion.
Sure.
Arguing, but agreeing to move on. So here's
a question, Rajesh.
Yeah.
In a joint family, was there a central authority जो finally अगर कुछ बहुत ही बच्चों में भी हो गया है, बड़ा कोई finally कोई कह देगा भाई सुनो ये ठीक है ये नहीं है, ऐसा क्या था? ऐसा होता था कुछ?
Grandfather, grandmother,
है ना?
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
The ultimate benevolence.
Absolutely.
And fairness.
Fairness and pampering. Anything you have done wrong, कुछ गलत हो गया, गाली पड़ रही है, तो run away. And I saw this in our own house. Whenever we used to, get tough with my boys, my mom will jump in. क्यों कर रहा है? छोड़ दे. And these girls say, yeah. So yeah, the grandparents have a different level of affection for.
Yeah. एक तो affection थोड़ा largeness भी होता है ना, क्योंकि हर छोटी गलती को पकड़ के we want to pin somebody down. That is something which I have discovered in people who are much older. So my father was much older. He was. I'm a product of a very late marriage, my parents. And one thing which I noticed about him is that he was much older than the parents of people around me. So people used to just ask him that, Govindji, how come you don't get angry? Right? He was called Govindji by everybody with love. And Baba used to say, I've seen things, I've seen life. So I've seen a connect that in a larger family, when there is the astuteness of the elder available along with the restlessness of the young, there is definitely a tussle, but that astuteness is, the role models are not too far away.
Bilkul. And I think it is product of, as you said, maturity, age. And I'm sure when you look yourself, the way, or I look myself at the way I would have handled things 20 years ago, 30 years ago versus today. There is a difference. Why 20 years ago? 10 years ago, a situation at work, at home, I would have handled is very different from what I would handle today, because वो बोलते हैं ना, धूप में बाल सफेद नहीं किया, तो वो experience, that maturity, that wisdom, that comes with time, right? So probably वो ये था जब, so the elders were there to get that kind of maturity. When you're living through it, when you're young, you feel ये क्या restriction है, ये क्यों है, ये कैसा है. But when you grow the same age, probably you behave the same way.
You become more of what you resisted.
Or yeah, exactly. Or you are being seen by your kids as somebody who
So my son has this, he says this to me. He says that, Baba, he and his friend, Raghav, his friend, he says, both Raghav and I say this. Why do dads have to repeat everything 5 times? They have worked out a thing. It's like 5 times. I said, like 5 times what? No, 5 times, in a conversation or over a period of a week, you will say, have you done that? Have you done that? Have you done that? I said, have you ever considered that I'm asking, have you done that? Because you haven't done that. That's not the point. He said, that's not the point. The point is 5. So they've got a 5 thing worked out. So it's like...
and it's probably we were like that. Where was childhood for you, Ashish? Delhi?
Delhi. दिल्ली, बल्कि दिल्ली में उसमें एक मजाक है कि हम लोग कहते थे दिल्ली के हैं, लेकिन दिल्ली वाले हमें दिल्ली नहीं मानते थे यार, क्योंकि I was growing up in a place called Lakshmi Nagar, which was across Jamnapar. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rajesh. Thank you for bringing it back to my life.
Sorry.
So let everybody know that. Let everybody know that as I keep telling people now Delhi सचमुच दिल वालों की है, because right up till Agra, right up till Jaipur, everything is part of Delhi NCR. But earlier, Delhi used to be Delhi, and then people like us who used to be across Yamuna were Jamnapar. And so yes, we are from Lakshmi Nagar and studied at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan.
Oh, okay.
And then the Hindu College. So, just coming back to this entire thing about the fear, and that kind of, is something which, even in this present scenario, all of us are dealing with, some variation of that. So, and I want to pick your brains on that. Growing up, say when you went to school, when you went into college, what did the tomorrow at that time look like to you? Do you recall anything? Was there certainty in it? Was it dark or was it friendly?
It was certain. After 12th, it was a bit, as always, not dark, I would say. Everybody was apprehensive.
Apprehensive, okay, sure.
Yeah. And you were not sure. I mean, one thing was clear, like growing middle-class kid, you have to become an engineer or a doctor. I was very clear, biology to samajh mein aati nahi hai, so engineering was way to go. So after 12th, since you are from Delhi, you will know DCE those days used to be
Delhi College of Engineering. That was ultimate.
I didn't go there. That's what I'm saying. The ultimate
you didn't go there. Okay, got it.
Ultimate aim for a Delhi guy was to go to DCE, but you had to score very good percentage of marks in 12th, which I missed by, I would say I scored decent, but I was still a couple of percentage points short, so I couldn't get through DCE.
Got it.
Conditions were not such financially that I could have gone outside Delhi. So that was the period of uncertainty, apprehension, kya karenge. And that is a very good story. And this is about what people say, a twist in a life, which takes you far. I mean, we can talk about that if you're
sure.
Okay.
Please, would love to. Absolutely.
So there were a couple of options left. Yeah, so I go to DU. Like DU was not like today that in order to get into Delhi University, you have to have score 99%, 100%. So you go and do science honors, but then the idea was to do engineering. So the other option was diploma kar le aap. I mean, I can do it. Or Third, everybody said, yeah, hotel management, because Delhi Hotel Management Institute in Pusa was pretty prestigious.
Pusa,
Why don't,
yes.
very prestigious. Why don't we try there? So tried, got through the list. And it so happened that I took money, certificates, everything, went to the college to deposit on a Saturday without realizing Saturday is a holiday.
Okay.
So the college was closed, the money was with me, certificates were with me. So instead of going back home, I just went to roam around. I mean, obviously, you're not very happy about, you could have worked hard. I could have worked hard about a couple of percentage points. And here you are, you don't know what to do. And while I was roaming in CP, nothing to do those days. So
Connaught Place. Just for the rest people to know, Connaught Place. CP's Connaught Place. Delhi wale agar ho samajh jaoge. Yeah, go on, please. Wow.
Roaming around. And I left that money and certificate with an uncle of mine who used to work in Connaught Place. Isko rakho, main ghumta hu, kahin kho jayega mere se. Then I started roaming around, and then the mind started working. Listen, you wanted to do engineering. Now you're going into hotel management. Is that what you wanted to do? And then the mind rationalized, yaar, ye thodi karne aaya tha. So the heart said no. So then I took the money, certificates, went back home, told my dad, ye nahi karna. Main diploma kar lunga. And that time, diploma, even now, I think at times, people who have done diploma like me feel that it's still short of degree. It's not that complex entire life.
I got it, my friend.
But I would say that decision changed my life. So I got into IT, I got into thing, and things worked out well.
Interesting. In fact, what you said is something amazing, and it's funny that you brought it up in this context. So I hear it. So it's an interesting thing, and I'll share. Something we say about something that we did, that we had to do. You took that call at that age, that when probably, when you're just walking around, and I'm trying to visualize Connaught Place at that point. I can visualize, and you said that, nahi yaar, karna to engineering hai, aur engineering mein mere paas number nahi hai, and I do not have enough money to go out. And you took that call to do something which you said ki probably infra dig hai, but I'll still go with it. Now, this is long before I'm saying that at that point you didn't know whether it'll work out or not. But you took that call, my friend.
Luxury bhi nahi tha, will it work out or not?
I got that. Beautiful. Kya baat hai. Wow.
There was no luxury. It had to...
Zone. I love it.
There was no concept of ye nahi to kuch aur ho jayega. Nahi hoga. And talking of those moments, right? When you say dark or scared, the most, not dark, but when one is very, very scared is when I was 25 and I lost my dad. I was 25, no house. We were staying in a government accommodation. No phone, only a bike, a job. And three of us, that is me and my two younger sisters, were unmarried. That was a period which was a shock. Like, kaise hoga abhi? Right. But as I look back, the God has been very kind. Everything worked out well. Knock on the wood. But that period also it changes you. It changed me. Independent decision making, financial management, keeping family together, everything. So it changes you. And that is a period also when you realize so many of friends that you have, so many of relatives that you have, which came to your support, to help, to everything.
So that's a couple of very interesting two strains I pick up in this conversation of yours. One is that I didn't have the luxury of choice. Sometimes you just get it, and that is something which I want to pick on. And The other one is that, and so I'll just pick the second one first. How important was that central line of yours? मैं हमेशा मुझे लगता है कि there is a central core which gets created for us in family when we are growing up. As you said, that taking care of this, doing that, and keeping the family together. All right, now that's keeping the family together is a lot to do with your ethos. All right, now you don't say that it's part of my ethos, but it's just like for me, growing up, I knew that my parents are very old. All right, and I'm the only child. So it was a no-brainer for me that माँ बाबा को देखना है. मतलब उसमें कोई doubt ही नहीं. मतलब एक होता है ना कि अरे यार मेरा कोई और भाई होता तो देख लेता. मतलब भाई कोई था ही नहीं, मुझे ही करना था. और साथ साथ growing up with a lot of friends of my parents, I knew that I love friendships. All right, so for me, I never had the if I may say, the blessing of a joint family. But me coming from a nuclear family as a single child, I so much wanted an extended family that if I look at my life has been in service of having friends who are like family. Okay. And somewhere I hear that very interesting thing that somewhere at that age of 25, and not that you are doing it consciously, but do you experience that those things that you probably embedded into your DNA growing up in a joint family, how it has till now stayed with you and moved you?
Quite a lot. बहुत कुछ है. Not only family but friends and extended family as they became. Okay. So I was in a job where very prestigious company, and I was in services. So we had to, those days, there were large mini computers that if they went faulty, we had to go on site and repair it. And before, I mean, these are all small things that you just replace it, but those are big computers. And before my father passed away, he was in hospital in and out for 1.5 years. So it used to very regularly happen that I'm about to go to office, he's unwell, we had to rush to hospital. And the schedule cannot be changed. And there were friends, right? I still am thankful. They went there, they said, "Yeah, ye main kar tu ja." And those mobile nahi hota tha, landline pe phone kiya office, I'm not coming, tu sawal lega, ha, main kar tu ja. In and out, and office, manager, boss, everybody was supportive, right? So those friendship taught me a thing, that to be selfless, right? So therefore, I realized office is nothing but an extension of family. Those days, office was like family. It was a family. So much so, even when there was anyway, things to be done at hospital for किया तो रुक जा रात को. Friends will say, ठीक है मैं 2 घंटे आता हूँ, तू जा घर होके आ जा, I'll stay for you, right? So those kind of things. These were not family. These were colleagues from office whom we grew together, and we still are very together. And as it teaches you, I mean, so आपने बोला ना central क्या? So family is central. These friends or helping or treating office like one extended family is another thing that it taught.
So so my parents, as I said, were much older, and we had bouts. In fact, when I moved to Bombay, I remember that they were being taken care of by my friends. It's just that they're unwell, and just somebody going and staying there overnight, or just sitting and chatting with them. And over the years, I do recall that somehow for me, what you just said, being there for others is a huge attribute that I have, that I respect, and therefore I also I would want inculcated. You know, as you say, na, that what do you want inculcated? That is something which you really value a lot. For example, and I will also share one shortcoming of mine. I don't know whether it's with you, but I have a shortcoming. Um, I cannot, I handle a lot of people, but I cannot handle, or I cannot manage to be with people whom I consider selfish. And somehow for me, just this is just a, a personal, if I may say, my inability to handle that is that is something which, I bring in very close to honesty. Like कहते हैं ना कि वो मुझे इतना मुझे एक जो होता है ना, मुझे थोड़ा सा they hold themselves back, क्यों कर रहा है यार ऐसा यार, तो मतलब you know what I mean, तू कर
I know.
सकता है कर देना यार, करता है कर सकता है ना यार, कर दे, why let me see, or need not be doing it to me, but I'm just, when I see certain things, and it's not that I'm saying that हम बहुत ही वो है सबसे अच्छे लोग, बिल्कुल नहीं, पर मैं कह रहा हूँ कि वो जो generosity when there कि बता what can I do for you, और मुझे when आजकल के जमाने में कोई बात करता है कि कस्टमर केयर क्या है, कस्टमर सेंट्रिसिटी क्या है, बहुत ही हम एक वाहियात एग्जांपल है, पर मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जब आप कितना अच्छा फील होता है, कहते हैं पता नहीं क्या करना है, it's like that. Just imagine if we can be like that with anyone and everyone we meet. या बताना क्या करना है, मतलब बेसिकली क्या है, सर टेल मी व्हाट कैन आई डू फॉर यू, इस बताना क्या करना है, just imagine. And this example that you gave me, that your place of work is just an extension of the place you live.
Yeah.
And it is a part of your life. And what a beautiful analogy you gave, that it is that one extended family just got, or rather one joint family got transported into an extended one now.
Right.
So it's really interesting.
And Ashish, looks like you have this knack of, or you're actually helping me put things in a different, or look at things differently. I mean, now that I've spoken to you, I also feel now, because friends help me, I try to inculcate that habit. I also think that I've been also fortunate to have team members or people who worked with me in office when I started off as an individual contributor, grew as a manager, grew. Maybe I've been fortunate enough to have people who are far more capable, right? Who were so good, they did their work so well that it made me look good, right? I'm so, I don't know which context did we digress.
Sure. No, I'm getting it, and it's a flow. I'm just getting it. Sure.
It's like somebody helped me. Office became like family, and I'm saying within office also, I would say over the period of time, I've been able to find friends, people who worked for me, people who worked with me, who have contributed so much. And it is not that they contributed to my growth, but they were capable, they delivered, and it helped me do better, do well. Right? So it's good.
Sure. And we won't at all go into this, which is needless to say that the point is that you would have, we very clearly contribute to our surroundings, Rajesh, each one of us. So I want you to acknowledge that about yourself also. So obviously that is saying, but having said that, something which you got, and I said that we'll come back to it. And I use it very often. You said that we didn't have the luxury of that. Okay, when we didn't have a luxury. और कई बार मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि I bring that conversation back to me. Okay, so for example, I so to say, when people say that I engage in what are known as motivational conversations, and it's very funny that I refer to myself and that I'm an ignite conversationalist. Because for me, the hungry, don't need motivation.
Sorry?
The hungry
The
don't
hungry.
need motivation. Okay. So my thing in life is that if we can really, and that's the work that I do with myself first, is that I just keep my hunger ignited. And just for me, when you are talking about you walking around Connaught Place, so the inside thing was Connaught Place, outside was Connaught Circus.
Yeah.
उधर अंदर the Wengers हुआ करता था and all those things.
Still है. अभी भी है.
है ना, Wengers है, all right. So we in fact have an inside joke.
Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, you go on, please.
I'm saying
Wengers
even now, given an opportunity, I go with my wife. She loves that place. I love that place. There's a school friend the college friend of mine who moved to Mumbai. Every time he comes here, कहाँ मिलेगा? वहाँ मिलते हैं. उसके बाद आगे बेंगल मार्केट जाएंगे.
Which was that जहाँ पे वो दूध बोतल में मिलता था? Kevinters. Yes. that crossing. M block या क्या था वो? मेरे ख्याल से उसके आगे पचकुया रोड जाता था कुछ.
बिल्कुल. A block है
ना? Wow. You brought me back.
You were saying circus.
Yeah. So, अगर हम लोग देखें, हम लोग की at whichever point early on in life or even later, I will speak for myself, and somewhere I resonate with what you just said, and I really think that sometimes when we give ourselves too many choices, थोड़ी अय्याशी कर लेते हैं. But if we look at it, if we can really get that, भैया अगर तुम भूखे हो ना, then वो नहीं कि भाई साहब मैं क्यों जाऊँ भाई को खाना खाना. There's this joke, it was that actors, they have something called, what's my motivation? So you give a direction to somebody who कहता है कि Ashish, now you pick up the phone. Okay, at this point, okay, all right. Why should I pick up the phone now? So then the director says, look, your motivation is that even while you're talking to Rajesh, you are expecting a call and you're just checking. Okay. And after that, then after that, I just want you to sit like this. No, what's my motivation? So director was thak gaya, yaar, he's asking for too many motivation things. He says, your motivation is your paycheck. Now just do it. Okay. So somewhere for me, you're getting a sense of what I'm saying. Now, somewhere for me, we sometimes spoil ourselves. No, yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting it. Why? I say, bhook rakh bhai tu. If you're hungry, you will go and do it. And somewhere for me, that hunger that we had when we were beginning, when we were unsure, when it actually looked dark, but we were so scared we couldn't even say it looked dark. We said, कुछ करते हैं यार. कुछ करते हैं यार. हम लोग we didn't have the thing here. It's looking very dark. अरे कुछ नहीं करना है next. And I can imagine what you're going through when you're 25 and that news comes. I can, in each one of us, who are listening in, we have had those moments where we didn't have the luxury of somebody trying to say कि सब ठीक हो जाएगा. You had to say that, boss, मुझे कुछ करना पड़ेगा. And somewhere, if we can keep bringing that hunger back into our existence, which I call having hunger amidst abundance. So in spite of everything around, and for a moment, it means if I can just take you back to that time when you went into the technical institute and you were learning, it was also that my way out of this predicament is going to be my academics.
Academics, hard work after that. And
that's going to be my way out of this.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. And it was also fortunate that I got into IT industry then. So it was,
sure.
While I can't say the luxury of changing. So jo mila job campus mein liya. But you had to work hard. And when you work hard, you start liking it. When you start liking it, it becomes your profession, right? So it's not that I've heard things like, okay, make your passion your work and you'll never have to work for your life. Either ulta hua. So made my work because of hard work and circumstances became a passion, and then it's been good all along. But again, what's important also is what I've always followed, and again, fortunately, in a company that I worked, was every 2 years you had the opportunity to get a new role. So basically, looking back, what it taught was coming out of comfort zone. Comfort zone में कभी मत, because होता है ना, you got a job, you're working hard, you feel I have arrived, now I'll keep doing this forever, and then you get into this comfort zone.
So I'll tell you that that's again one thing common between you and me. Except my life has been pushing me into new roles.
No, but
no, seriously. No, seriously, Rajesh, I'm not joking, my friend. So, you know, when I just look at it, and I'm getting exactly what you're saying, that, you know, at one place you may feel bogged down. In a way, I have this one thing which I've worked out in my head, and again, I keep doing it. If I forget that I get that thing back. I have to turn everything into an ally. I have to turn what is happening around me into something. Let me get gold out of this. So gold for me has been, so I've been somebody who's been a dreamer, and then I've been somebody who loves to create something interesting. All right, and I keep using the word कुछ interesting करते हैं. Now, interesting की खासियत ये होती है, you don't need to define to too many people क्या कर रहे हो, but you're basically saying I'm going to be in movement. But to be very honest with you, it's a mix. It's a mix of you wanting interesting thing to do and also life forcing you to change your roles. So for me, in my case, I see a play of both those coming into play, where scenarios are pushing me, and also I'm saying that, okay, if the scenario is pushing me, might as well take a leap. So how important was it for you to break yourself, break your past, and create something? Because it would have been.
Complete what you said. You said it so well. Yeah. Circumstances pushing you, but you also grabbing those circumstances. That's the key. Right? You grab. And I'm a great fan of this book called The Alchemist. So it's very similar to what he writes, right? Paulo Coelho in that book. That you're at a situation at times you feel, why me? God, why are you testing me? It was working out so well. But you forget, maybe that's an omen. That's his indication of telling you, you got to move on to next phase in life, right? Science. And many times you're scared to take that leap, scared to take that option.
Yeah.
Many times, right? I remember 2004, I took up a job where I left a very large company, joined a company which was, now startup is a fashionable thing. Those days, it was not such a thing. And it was it scary? A little bit. What happened? But the feeling was, okay, we'll go back and do the same thing what you were doing. But that was a decision taken for some reason. I felt I had to break free from this large company, not get into something. Now it looks so good.
Sure.
Everybody said, what a decision. That time, I'm sure 90% of the people said, kya bewakoof aadmi hai? Why is he going? It's a higher end fire company. So things work out differently. I mean, again, I'm saying one has to stop being comfortable, take those chances. And one training that I did not recently, a couple of years ago, it tells you the importance of head, heart, and guts. If you start taking everything through head, it pulls you back. But there is heart, there is gut, and which knows better than your head and says, yeah, gut. In life and in the career, many a times.
Interesting. For me, one of the interesting things that I have discovered is that whatever looks very, very dangerous, there could be gold there. And there's a very thin line between doing something which is completely unhinged and doing something which you have never done. So it's that way, that thin distinction. It is not like you get foolhardy, kuch bhi kar lenge lives. But to have that, so for me, each new role has gotten me back to the other day. I was giving a very interesting example somebody gave me. He said, just imagine that these are all totem poles, all right? Each specialty is a totem pole.
Mhm.
So you have climbed up the ladder and you have reached here, and now you want to go to the next one. So you know what? You swing from here and you come here, and again you have to go up. All right, and so it may not be in stature, but it may be that purely you may have gone there at probably at the same level, but you know that you're starting again afresh. You have again to prove. And whichever is the next level that they put you to, it makes you open to more judgment.
Absolutely, sir.
More people are looking at. How do you deal with that, Rajesh? Next challenge, where there is more reputation now. Now it's not a new guy, that unknown guy.
So how do
How
I
do you
deal
deal
with
with?
the
Yep.
challenge? See, one thing I've realized, and I was thinking through that totem pole, you jump and you start all over again. Another thing which happens is when you reach a position in a particular field or a particular area,
Mm.
and if you're doing it for a couple of years, you realize that you can deliver the same thing at 80% or 70% of the efficiency also, because you have mastered it, right? When you take a leap and start again, you have to start working at your 120%, 130%. For me, whenever I felt that I'm at 70%, 80%, I think I
Jump.
need to either do something
Get
else,
another totem pole.
yeah, or I need to challenge myself with something.
Mm.
And then that satisfaction of 120%, working hard, thinking hard, struggling. यार ये क्या हो रहा है, क्यों हो रहा है, and then finding answer, those aha moments, and that's the kick.
It's and I'm seriously. I'm like so excited when you just said this. I love. We all need a high. Okay, I want to kind of say we all need a high. For me, the high is this. Was kuch zone tha aaj. We did something interesting. I'll share with you. In the last few days, things have happened. We did a very, very interesting show last evening on Book My Show. First time that we ever did something like this, called Dil Pe Mat Le Yaar. And it was extraordinary. When we started, we didn't know how we can do this. All right. And our team, we were just thinking aloud, how do we go about doing it? How do we pull it off? We were working on the content and how we create that, how for it to reach out. It's a whole new thing. We've never done it like that. I either act or I go and do leadership programs. How will it be something which is to do with something to do with entertainment, at the same time allowing people to take away something, and at the same time market it and reach out to more people?
Wow.
And would you believe it? It was an extraordinary experience over the last 1 week. Our ragtag team, we call it, we are the Avengers, misfits. None of us have ever done an MBA. We don't have any one of those skills. But just the ability to create the zone conversations allowed us, it's unbelievable. We did 1,500 people, 1,700 people were watching us last evening as we went live. And today, as we were, through the day, today, since early morning, 4:30, I was shooting a children's video for somebody, and then we had 2 sessions. I have one more session after this. But what is phenomenal, Rajesh, and I'm so excited. And you and I, we had an early morning call, and then we did a test call. So it's fantastic to see someone else also awake so early on a Saturday morning. I love that. But I really think that this high of working hard is amazing, my friend. I just love it.
And I'm sure I want to know the feeling of a week prior to that event.
Yeah,
The
scared.
feeling.
Lot of scare. lot of scare, lot of
Scream at each other.
kaise hoga, हाँ kaise hoga. So I will quickly share one episode. I remember the time that we worked together. It was how many years back? I think 2 years back. I did an event with you.
Three years ago.
3 years back. All right. One thing, it's never. I've not lost that. That memory is there. So we talked, and it was a huge event. And I was doing the keynote there. I was there, and I looked around. You walked in. You said, "Hi, how are you? I'll just take a minute." And then you just left me and you went. And I saw you going over. It was a pub or something. It was like I couldn't read anything, and you just wore your glasses. And I said, "Look, he's ticking everything, all of those things." And I brought it up later in the completion meeting with you. And what has stuck with me is a bit like, what you are doing is what I've heard pilots do. After years of flying, they just have a checklist where they go, this check, this check, this check, this check, this check. So I think that eye for detail, it comes out of a scare that it shouldn't go wrong. Without scare, we'll be lackadaisical about it. ठीक है यार, हो जाएगा यार, it'll be done. But that fear, that fear that I have before each performance, the fear that I have, can we do it? I think that gives us the extra edge. What about you, Rajesh?
No, you're right. The pressure, and you said this detail. I firmly believe, and I say it always, that God lies in detail. Many a time we just go ahead. I mean, instead of saying devil lies in detail, God is in detail.
God, I got it. I love the paraphrase. Yeah.
Things many a times go awry because we feel, this is taken care of. No, how? Show me how. And then have you done it? No, but I believe it. No. So detailing, the fear, but the high once you do a great job is unbeatable. And the feeling of sickness when you screw up is also equal.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
But it's a learning, and then this is what I missed. What did I miss? What will I not do next time?
And one of the things that pains me, I told you one about a hint of selfishness. The other thing that really pains me when I see people who are working without passion. Their eyes are dead. Their eyes are dead.
It's a job.
And I feel what a waste, what a waste of your life, what a waste of your moment. And one of the things that, I love to share with people is what is it that I want to gift myself today? Am I going to gift myself? For example, this is another interview. So am I going to ask, so the next question, Rajesh, I want to ask you, or can I discover something for myself? Rajesh, that's the joy. Can I gift this 1 hour to me? And imagine if we get that those 12 hours or 14, 16, whatever, 3 hours that we are working, and the rest, whatever that we are doing, can we gift that something unique to ourselves?
And I think two things. This shows that how hungry you are, and you still are open to learning, and that therefore you're humble. And I'll also remember that incident before our event that day about you. I remember we had this debrief that this is what we want to achieve at the event with you 3 years ago. And you said, I want to talk to a couple of folks in detail. I said, okay, we'll set up the calls for you on the bridge and you come on the bridge. Why I said that? Because I felt maybe like all celebrities, you want your number to be private. And therefore a bridge is the right way to go. I said, no. Ye mera number hai, I'm announcing on the call. Give it to them. Tell them to text me. And I'll firm up a time with them and talk to them. I said, seriously? So that's your humility. You're wanting to learn. Now, that's what I admired. And I think you said, can I gift myself something? And I'll probably go back to the point you made of, I don't like people who are not passionate or who don't have passion in their eyes.
I think I more than I don't like, I feel like, ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है यार? It's such an amazing thing, yeah. You're being paid for this.
Exactly.
Gosh, how
I will
lucky you
go and
are.
ask that person, why are you not into it? What's troubling you? Is there something we can do to help you like this? Or no, it's
Exactly.
not your liking. At least let's talk about
Yeah.
it, because
Let's talk about it.
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work if one of the parts of the machine is not working well. It will not
Yeah.
work. And that's why I
Yeah.
said I've been fortunate to find people all my life who were passionate, who were transparent, who were
Yeah.
open, and they did everything and made me look good. Let's say
Yeah.
that.
And Rajesh, at this point, you know what? I kind of also see a connect. It's very interesting. Something you opened up for me when your when your family gets extended into the workplace. So what really inspires me is that if each one of us can get, and is this an extension of gifting yourself? It's not even a question whether I like it or not, but just imagine if each one of us can actually get the amount of happiness that we can gift ourselves wherever we are.
Without a
It could
doubt.
be in the middle of a crisis. It could be when you're in Bahamas, if you go there, or I don't know what. That thing you say that, for me, there's another thing, like people say, I'm looking forward to that vacation, but I'm spending this rest of the year here. Then later on, we'll go for a vacation. And I think that, कैसा रहेगा कि यार इधर भी वो कुछ amazing कर पाए, and then say, I'm also going for a vacation. So that somewhere we find joy in our present. For me, this period से हम लोग सब गुजर रहे हैं. Can we find some joy here? Can we find something here rather than just wait for the sun to rise one day after this all goes away? And we know it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while, Rajesh.
Period has been a wake up call, right?
Yeah.
This period has been truly a wake up call, because,
Mm.
like, all of us running on a treadmill saying, "ये यार बाद में करेंगे retirement के." This period has forced you to do all those things. So, sort of, it is an awakening also in a way, and so let's hope it gets over soon, and we go out and get to do what we always wanted to do.
And as we are completing this, when you say that, there's this beautiful line from Werner Erhard. I love that. And he says that if you believe in God, you will say that I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And I will do it happily, whatever you tell me to do. Consider what you're doing right now is what God asked you to do. So be happy.
Wow. Very, very
And
profound.
yeah, and somehow for me, through my life, through my different roles, through the labyrinths of life, as like we are walking later on, hindsight में दिखता है ये किया. What I've found is that if I want to say that today is a horrible day and tomorrow bhi pata nahi, I'm still left with that day. On the other hand, if today I say that I am discovering today and I'm ready to discover tomorrow, I bring that same expertise of mine added with my creativity and my openness. कि कुछ नया करते हैं यार, मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं अपनी पुरानी चीज जो मैं करता था वही लेके सामने आऊंगा. What you just said that, and at that point, Rajesh, I feel that doesn't matter what people say. Finally, you're owning your journey.
Without a doubt. Absolutely. Yeah. Very well said, Ashish. बहुत बढ़िया.
Rajesh, it was an absolute pleasure, my friend. We had an hour of conversation. Arshad Ahmed says, wonderful talk, thought-provoking, dil se conversation, very enriching. Amit Ghosh says, Swamiradan Anand says, how can one? Oh, many people are asking, many interesting things. People are commenting. So it's wonderful that, and probably we'll just go down, go down and answer a few of these questions on LinkedIn. I'll just People are, so it's just so wonderful. Just to also check, what were you drinking? Was that coffee or tea?
Tea. Delhi wala
Ah,
hu main.
ah. I
And what
I
are
also
you
love
drinking?
I also love I also love chai. और परसों ही वो जो चाय विद हल्की सी अदरक आह और मुझे ना वो कहते हैं कुछ थोड़ा कहा था कि शक्कर कम करें तो मुझे आजकल मेरा नंबर ठीक है तो बीच बीच में एक कप में चाय हल्की सी शक्कर डाल के दूध में थोड़ी गाढ़ी बना के पीता हूँ इट्स ऑलवेज अ जॉय इनफैक्ट योर नेक्स्ट डोर नेबर योगेश खुराना हाँ,
Absolutely.
तो योगेश के घर में जाके कुछ कमाल की चाय पीता हूँ वो अलग बात है कि ही हिमसेल्फ नाउअडेज टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ ग्रीन टी बट आई लव व्हाट दूध की चाय बनती है उनके यहाँ पर सो टिल वी मीट अगेन माय फ्रेंड Rajesh, it was an absolute delight interacting with you and seeing a different life play out in front of me.
Thank
So
you,
I
Ashish.
really thank you
Thank
for
you for
that.
the opportunity. Thank you for the platform. It's been a pleasure. I would say 1 hour on Saturday, very well spent. A lot of learning, a lot of looking into myself. So thank you.
Thank you, all of you who have joined uh, Rajesh and me here this evening. Um, and just to let you people know, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., I'm going to be engaging in a very different conversation. It's a conversation called Living Forward. Last week we had Joydeep Roy. Uh, Tomorrow I have Uma Isola, and we are talking health in life, where she's going to talk to us how health is going to be a critical part in our day-to-day life as we go through our business, as we go through life. So see you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at the same place. Rajesh, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया once again for having spent time together. जब भी हम मिलेंगे next,
Look,
we'll raise
जब
a
भी
toast together. और
okay.
my friend, thank you so much. बहुत बहुत
Thank
शुक्रिया
you.
आप सबका. Thank you, thank you, thank you everybody. Thank you so much.